Hey everybody, it's Ron and Debbie. We're back for another edition of Ask Ron. All right, Ron, our first question is from Oscar Freeman from Texas.
Oscar?
Hi Ron, I'm finding that in Houston, 99.9% of the people I have talked to that have free and clear houses for sale do not want to sell them with any terms. They want cash and forget about it. Should I change my strategy and focus on more motivated sellers?
Well, you can change your strategy, but you're still going to have problems with other strategies, Oscar. But if you got 99.9% telling you they don't want terms, I can tell you right now it's because what's coming out of your mouth. First, you should let our virtual assistants screen them for you, because we're getting 31% of them to say yes with terms, and our virtual assistants can barely spell real estate. So there's a problem there somewhere. You're not asking the right questions, sir, and you're not asking them the right way. Therefore, you're about to abandon a great business which is working very well all over Texas because you haven't spent enough time learning that craft. If you want to focus on more motivated sellers, I certainly have no problem with that, because that's what I want everybody to do, but you don't know who's motivated and who's not until you screen out all of the crap to get to the cream. Of course, there's the old ugly house side of the business where you're buying all cash deals for deeply discounted prices, but even then, got to learn those ropes or you're not going to get anywhere. Right now it's very competitive in the MLS system, so the smart thing to do now is learn how to go find the FSBOs that have ugly houses that you can buy at deeply discounted prices as well. It sounds, I don't know what training you've taken or not, but it's all a training issue. Let's get that fixed first and not blame it on the market or blame it on Houston or whatever. I just left Houston. We just did a boot camp in Dallas. We did all kinds of deals, literally all kinds of them, right there live in front of the whole room from leads that all of my Texas students brought to class. So it's just a matter of what you're asking and how you're asking. And of course, it's still going to be a numbers game, but you don't need but 1 or 2 deals a month.
Okay. Next is Ryan Park from California. He's got a house. This lead came in and they're asking $5.5 million. The ARV is $5.7 million. The loan, $2.5 million. Seller is motivated and willing to negotiate terms, but she's in the middle of a divorce, and I'm not sure how the divorce could affect the existing loan. I'm thinking to do a subject to the $2.5 million, then owner finance the rest of with equity. My question is, could I buy it like this? If the divorce is finalized, could the existing loans still stay under the same names? Could you enlighten me with a better way to get the deed?
Well, first of all, you're in the big leagues now, and you've got a very small market for that price range house, even in California. You've got no equity in it. I highly, highly doubt that it's even worth the 5.5 she's asking, much less the 5.7 that you've been represented that it's worth. And that's why she's having trouble selling it, most likely. So your market is very slim to sell it even with terms. You do not want to take any risk on this deal. You will not take it subject to. Her attorney will not let you take it subject to. You can buy it with a wraparound, all-inclusive trust deed or a wraparound deed of trust. But the minute you do that, now you're obligating your LLC or your trust to make payments on that house, and you're taking on a bunch of risk. Plus, it's unlikely you're going to get into that deal without having to put up a decent down payment, which you did not tell me anything about. You haven't told me what her payments are under underlying loan, and you know, I can tell you the payments are going to be pretty hefty, and I doubt you want to take the responsibility to make them. So this is what we call an axe deal. You create the best terms you can get. You put it under contract with those terms. You make it crystal clear to the seller that you're not going to buy this house till you plug in somebody else on terms that you like, and then you will close at that point. You're better off lease optioning it from her, and then you can put a lease option tenant buyer in there and not have any closing costs whatsoever. That's what I would do on that house. But you got to get a lower price. There's no way she's getting 5.5 for a 5.7 house, and that's even assuming it's worth 5.7. And if she did, think of the real estate commission she'd pay. You need to be in the 4s, not the 5s, and that's assuming it's worth $5.5 million. And then lease option it from her. But now, what monthly payment? If you cover her underlying debt, that's all you need to do. Don't even think about paying her anymore, which is probably going to give you a low enough payment to where you can get more out of the market and have a huge monthly spread. Now, of course, you've got to get into this thing with little or no money on a lease option, because your big payday is now getting a big, huge lease option deposit from a tenant buyer who can move in long enough to get that thing bought, or somebody comes in and just writes you a check. You got to have enough spread between what you're paying and what you're asking, because in that price range house, somebody might just come in and pay cash for it if they feel like they're getting a good price. Problem is, you can't give them a good price when your price is 5.5 and it's supposedly worth 5.7. So I got to have the spread even on terms, or I don't want to do it. Without the spread, it's a golden turd. So no risk. Make sure this is a no-risk deal. Don't be even thinking about coming out of pocket or making promises that you can't keep.
Okay, next is from John Kartlowski from Georgia.
Hey, John.
I'm looking at purchasing an apartment building. I have a question about two different buildings. The first one is a property that is zoned B2 city business. There are 17 apartments and 16 are rented.
Okay.
Would the zoning be a problem for me to buy it?
Well, how would I know that, John? That's a question you should ask your local zoning board, not me. You know, I used to know the zoning in every city in the United States, but, you know, as I age, I forget. I have no idea, John.
Okay, his second question is about a 159-unit complex, and the owner has an assumable mortgage. How would I go about doing it under my LLC?
Well, your LLC makes the offer, which starts with a letter of intent. But honestly, if you have to ask me this question, to be fair with you, you're not ready to be buying a 159-unit apartment complex. You've got a whole lot of due diligence to do. The whole offer process is different. You're going to probably have to start with a $5,000 earnest money deposit, and I just can't cover all of that on this. Make sure you come to my commercial property boot camp at the end of this year. Check with us and let's see if we can't get you a deal to get in there, because you're totally out of your league if you're asking me this question on a 159 unit. Let's go down to the houses and make some money. Let's not try to get greedy here. Can't go from the gutter to the penthouse in one jump. A little bit at a time here, and you're biting off more than you can chew without some really good quality help there. And your seller will pick it up in an instant.
Okay. All right, next is Ted Peterson from Tennessee.
Hey, Ted.
He's got a seller with a mortgage for $136,000.
Okay.
The ARV is $205,000.
Good.
No repairs. Maybe some cosmetic updating.
Asking?
Yeah, she is asking what she owes.
What's the question?
Okay, so the question is, he just formed a Tennessee LLC, just moved to Tennessee.
Right.
Is it possible to take title in a land trust
Yes.
with my LLC as beneficiary?
Yes, and that's exactly how I would do it.
Okay.
So it sounds like you got a good one. You got a bunch of equity in there. It sounds like you got a decent payment, house in good shape. That's a perfect deal. You make a ton of money on that one. If a land trust becomes a problem, Ted, don't worry about it. Just take title in the LLC and get the deal done. Any closing agent knows that, understands that.
Okay. All right, next is from Jason Ligo from Seattle.
Hey, Jason.
Hi, Ron. I know you're big on using attorneys to close our deals, so here's my question.
I insist on it.
When using an attorney to close a deal where I'm installing a tenant buyer, does my buyer make the check for the option fee out to me or the attorney?
He makes the deposit that you get at the meeting prior to the closing out to you. He should make the rest of it out to the attorney. The attorney put it in their escrow account and then hand it to you. Some attorneys, however, don't want to do that on a lease option. In that case, they'll just make it out to you or your entity. That really doesn't matter either way.
Okay. All right, next from Jim Burris from Florida.
Jim?
You mentioned that there are articles already written that we could use to drive traffic through our affiliate links. Oh, I'm having trouble finding these.
You mean marketing stuff written? Yeah.
Articles on Book Club, I'm assuming is what he means.
Articles on, yeah, there are, if you'll go to the affiliate link, there are some marketing tools written there. Don't know if there's any articles, but, oh, I think he's referring to the all-day seminar that's on your Gold Club site called Affiliate Training.
Okay.
Go pull that down. It's an all-day seminar. It really is, taught by our local geeks here. It's a really good seminar on driving traffic.
Okay, great. That's all we have this week for this week.
All right, guys. Well, I'll see you soon. I'm going to assume, if you're watching this, that you're already registered for our super conference coming up in Vegas in June. If you have not registered, shame on you. Spanky, spanky. Get registered right away. Going to have a blast out there. And, you know, who knows, maybe I can even get my wife to come over and teach video poker, because I got to tell you, she's on her way back from the Hard Rock, and man, she had a killer weekend down there this weekend, probably best she's ever had. So Or maybe I can't get her to come. Maybe she don't want to disclose her secrets, so no promises. Anyway, come on out to Vegas. We're going to have a blast. It is Las Vegas. You'll have a blast. There's plenty to do. They're going to dunk me in the dunking tank, make a fool out of me again. You're going to learn a ton. And look, right now it's only $197 and $100 per guest. I'm going to give you a bunch of bonuses when you get there. You get $2,000 worth of gift certificates when you check in. You get fed, and you're going to get a my brand new course on time management. That's a 2-day event that I just taped as well. So well worth your while to take the time to come. Vegas is the cheapest place in the country to fly to. And what more important thing are you doing at the end of June anyway than come spending the whole week with your peers and with Papa? Go register. See you next week.